Ready?
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to the public session of the Pennsylvania Commission on great start for me, of the Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations August public meeting. I am Rebecca Alpert. I'm substituting today for our chair, Shalimar Thomas, who is unable to be with us. We will begin with the approval of the minutes for the July meeting. Do I hear any questions or concerns or? Okay, so we will then adopt the minutes as presented for July. Our next item is the approval of in cases that were investigated by staff and recommended for closing. I will read the cases and then take any recusals or abstentions, and then we will put the closings to a vote. Case number 1, Melissa M. Williams versus the City of Philadelphia. These are, I'm sorry, we begin with employment cases. Case number 2, Sean M. Hawes versus the City of Philadelphia. Case number 3, Roger Rose versus System Council number 7 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers and Arthur Davidson individually. Case number 4, Daniel Angeles versus the Philadelphia Housing Authority. Case number 5, Christopher Clark versus Sunoco Inc. Case number 6, Regina Blackwell versus ShopRite of Whitman Plaza. Case number 7, Mickey Baker versus the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. Case number 8, Sharita R. Copper versus Cheltenham Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Case number 9, Jasmine Thomas versus Whole Foods Market Group Incorporated. Case number 10, James S. Williams versus the city, James S. Williams Jr., versus the City of Philadelphia. Case number 11, John Wise versus Prajna Strategy LLC and Kristen Clark and Cheryl Heller. Case number 12, Catherine Holland versus Pennsylvania Hospital. One housing case, Alexis Nettles versus Henry on the Park, JCLB, DBA Morgan Properties. And one ban the box case, Mauricio Aguilar versus Comcast Cable Communications Holdings Incorporated. Do we have any recusals or abstentions? Yes, Regina.
I would abstain from employment case number 12, Holland versus Pennsylvania Hospital.
Thank you. Is everything else set? Then can I call for a motion to accept the case closings? Commissioner Austin called for the closing of the cases, and Commissioner Loren seconded the motion. All in favor of the case closings? Commissioner Thomas, I can't see you. Are you voting?
Yep, I actually tried to chime in and offer the motion, so I am in support.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Sorry, it's really hard on the screen. So all in favor, any, we got our abstention, any negative votes? Okay, so the cases that were investigated and recommended for closing are passed for the month of August. We now move to our Executive Director's report. Take it away, Executive Director Gee.
Thank you, Commissioner Alpert. I will begin with updates related to compliance. In July, we had our annual FEPA training with the EEOC. That's the Federal Partnership Agency training. And that was July 19th through the 21st. And the compliance leadership, including myself, Deputy Director Pamela Gwaltney, and Principal Attorney Karen Foreman, attended this training, which centered on ensuring an equitable path forward. Some of the important updates that we discussed pertain to federal anti-discrimination laws for employment, with a particular focus on LGBTQ communities and issues facing Native Americans. In terms of community engagement, prevention, and education, on July 21st, we had the final session of our 3-part series for the Black and Gold Leadership Bootcamp. And that was held at the Shofusu House in Fairmount Park. The series invited appointed commissioners and community leaders to come together and dialogue about the topic of Black and Asian community relations. Through the series, participants were guided through discussions that allowed them to learn more about each other and empowered them to take the principles into their respective communities to engage and dialogue and understand each other better. Our community HR reps were instrumental throughout the process, and those were Abigail Sue, Boone Ratmat, Carlos Avales, Mercano, and David Oliver. We'd also like to thank our other partners within the city of Philadelphia who helped facilitate those series. Next, just wanted to let you all know that throughout the first week of August, our community relations team focused on prevention activities such as the night out markets, back to school, and police district block parties. Through those events, our reps distributed information regarding PCHR's community services, including dispute resolution programming, the fair chance hiring laws, as well as fair housing information. On August 3rd, HR rep David Oliver and myself participated in a peace walk in the Point Breeze section of Philadelphia that was organized by Council Member Kenyatta Johnson's office in response to the murder of a resident of South Philadelphia. Throughout that event, we distributed information about our dispute resolution services to residents as we were in the neighborhood. On August 11th, HR Rep Carlos Avales participated in the 24th District's annual block party, and he distributed information about the program, as well as offered some of his barbecuing skills during the event. So a fun time was had. On August 12th, I attended and participated in the Office of Black Male Engagement and the Office of Youth Engagement's Keep Your Head Up event, which was an artistic and multi-dimensional creative opportunity for folks to share stories and insights about ways that the city can address public safety issues through art. In terms of conflict response, our HR representative, Tiara Thompson, is working with Councilwoman Gautier to mediate an ongoing neighborhood conflict in West Philadelphia near the Sayre High School. In terms of events for this reporting period, on June 27th, I participated along with other city leaders in the Department of Justice's press conference at the Malcolm X Memorial Park, which announced a redlining settlement reached with Trident Mortgages. The settlement ensures that significant lending resources will be infused into neighborhoods of color in and around Philadelphia, and it specifically targets those who have been historically experiencing racial discrimination and redlining. I joined along with other federal partners and state partners to send a message that housing discrimination will not be tolerated in Philadelphia. As you all know, we had a University of Pennsylvania Fellow student, Allende Merrill, working with the agency to look at practices related to housing appraisal discrimination. On August 2nd, he concluded his work with the agency and provided a comprehensive list of resources and recommendations for the agency to focus on education and outreach, data collection, legislative policies, and ways that we could strengthen the network of appraisers in Philadelphia to include anti-discrimination and bias training. On August 6th, Deputy Director Randy Duque spoke at the Celebrate Asia Festival for PICO's Multicultural Series, which was sponsored by the Mayor's Commission on Asian Pacific American Affairs. He spoke about the importance of dialogue and celebration to promote understanding and combat anti-Asian hate here in Philadelphia. August 14th through 18th, which was just this week, our PCHR leadership team attended the 2022 International Association of Official Human Rights Agencies Conference in Los Angeles, California. This year's focus was on creating a unified vision for equity and justice. We were excited and engaged in that opportunity to share resources and looking forward to partnering with other human rights agencies throughout the United States to strengthen the community supports and anti-discrimination, specifically as it relates to systemic racism and issues related to systemic injustice. In terms of upcoming events, on August 22nd, we will be partnering with the Office of Public Engagement and other city leaders to engage in a community conversation regarding the city's approach and response to gun violence. The series will be offered to all appointed commissioners so that they will have a better understanding of the city's strategy and be able and empowered to share that information with the communities that they represent. On September 21st, I will also be participating in the Peace Day Philly program, which will occur at the City Hall North Apron, and speaking on the importance of ending racism as a way to build peace. Lastly, just wanted to share some information about the hate and bias data that we've been collecting for this month. We had 7 confirmed incidents of hate or bias. Of those, one was politically motivated, one was anti-Semitic, 2 pertain to race, specifically AAPI slurs and other just general racist language that was contained in a letter for a department store. There were also 3 anti-LGBTQ related hate incidents that occurred this month. Year to date, we have had 70 confirmed incidents of hate or bias reported to the agency. We continue to monitor hate and bias incidents as they're reported and offer supports to the community as necessary. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Commissioner Alpert. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's always sobering to listen to those reports. Anybody have any questions that they have for Executive Director Gee, or questions of any other sort? Without them, then can I entertain a motion for adjournment? I see again Commissioner Loren with a second from Commissioner Austin, and I know Commissioner Thomas would agree because
I would agree.
I can't see you, but I hear you. So can I just have a hand vote with the rest of us all in favor of adjournment? Thank you very much. Those of you who are in Los Angeles, I hope you get some good rest today. And thank you for being there on our behalf. And we will see you at the commissioners at the executive session for September on September 9th, and our public session will be held on September 16th. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Everyone have a good weekend.